If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out. Whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant, Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call, and the doors will be closing soon.
Hey everybody, welcome to ResortLoop.com. I'm your host, Bob Collar. Again, I have with me my son, Bobby.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about Solo, a Star Wars story.
It's a big one.
It's
one of my favorites, definitely.
I agree with you 100%. We're going to do this a little different. Usually we'll give you some sound bites from the actors, and we let them explain their characters a little bit and all that. Everybody kind of knows who Han Solo is and Lando Calrissian and some of the other players that are in the movie that help Han develop into who Han eventually is. So this is going to be spoiler free, and we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to talk about some of the reviews that have come in about Solo, a Star Wars story.
Nice, I like it.
Before we start, I gotta say, this is coming from, for me anyway. I was 14 years old when Star Wars came out. Originally it was called Star Wars. Now it's Star Wars: A New Hope. I was 14 years old. A groundbreaking film. Groundbreaking. It started the whole sci-fi genre. Completely different. Everything up to that point was, the future was all chrome and
Flash Gordon.
Very clean and all of that stuff. Well, now you've got it's set a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and you got these characters that are all dirty and grungy on, desert planets and ice planets and jungles and all that stuff. It just completely changed cinema. And for a 14-year-old kid, it was amazing to me. So for me to see these movies, and I know I'm rambling, but I got to ramble. For me to see these movies, completely different context for your younger generation. Because it was such a now you guys get to watch these things over and over and over again and not see them always on the big screen. So for me, these new stories, the Han Solo story and Rogue One, huge deal because it set up that movie that was so influential.
It answered the questions that you had as a kid, seeing A New Hope and wondering about these characters.
Absolutely. When you've got a movie like New Hope, Star Wars, that starts Episode 4, you're going to hold up. Episode 4, what happened in the first 3? Did I miss something? What is going on? So to see the build-up, to see in Rogue One how the rebels got the Death Star plans, and it's done so well. The acting in it is so perfect. The storyline so perfect. Now you jump ahead to Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yep.
I don't know why they called it that. They could just call it Han Solo. It is so good because it develops that character. And I think, and that's why we're doing this way, I think that people are, the critics, the people who are reviewing this film, are missing that because they're too young maybe to understand why these films are so important to the true Star Wars fan.
Right.
The old-timers like myself. So we're gonna first start off with these headlines. These are some of the headlines from The Independent. I don't even know what that is. Solo, a Star Wars story struggling at the box office. CNN Money. Solo, a Star Wars story, box office disappoints. And from Forbes, box office, Solo, a Star Wars story, disappoints with a mere $36 million profit.
Oh, just $36 million. That's
just
nothing.
$36 million.
You know, that is nothing. $36 million. That's...
Right now, it's at about $150 million. I don't know how much it costs to make this thing. I'm guessing it's maybe at this point close to breaking even. That's a ballpark what these films cost now. I get it. Now keep in mind, first weekend too. But here's the thing that nobody wants to really look at. One, we just got slammed by Avengers Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Everybody is still reeling from this thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks haven't gone back to the movies because they're still like, what is going on? That's what I want to see now. I don't want to see something completely different.
Yeah. They're still in that... You even mentioned this after we saw Solo, after we saw Solo. You said that people are still in that superhero mode. Because you had Avengers come out, and then Deadpool come out a couple of days ago. And everybody's just in that mood to watch a superhero movie, and then Solo was kind of sandwiched,
absolutely,
all in there, and nobody really wants to see a Star Wars movie right now.
Right, nobody's in the Star Wars vibe. So you got all of these superhero movies coming out. Deadpool, right? Everybody's going to see Deadpool, and it's supposed to be a good movie. I haven't seen it yet. Not for the kids.
Yeah.
No kids. No. Please don't take your kids to see Deadpool. Oh, I hear it's worse than the Deadpool 1.
If it's worse than Deadpool 1, then...
I don't know how that's possible.
Geez, yeah, you should not take your kids.
But of course the box office is going to struggle. I want to see what's going to happen after. After this thing has its run and gets to DVD, I think you're going to see DVD, Blu-ray sales just skyrocket for this thing. I have to have this movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is a Blu-ray. This is a Blu-ray buy.
This is as good, if not better, than Rogue One. And I loved Rogue One.
Definitely. Definitely. It's definitely at least as good as Rogue One.
The character development of Han Solo, and a lot of people are comparing... Alden Ehrenreich, is that his name? Ehrenreich?
I think it's a German name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Alden,
it's complicated.
with Harrison Ford. Granted, two different guys, but I got to tell you something. This kid pulled it off. I think he was a very good young Han Solo.
Definitely, he was charismatic. He was arrogant. He captured all of the qualities of A New Hope Han Solo.
But he didn't start out that way, which is what's so good about this. They didn't automatically, boom, this is Han Solo as a young man. Because none of us are who we were 30 years ago. Well, you didn't exist 30. But, I'm not the same person. So, of course, there's development of who you end up being. Even Han Solo. Folks, come on. Look back at back at Star Wars, A New Hope, and then look at the last one. Han Solo, completely different guy.
Yeah.
Completely different guy. And they're trying to compare this kid with Harrison Ford, that he's not pulling off Harrison Ford. Here's some of the critics. Solo, a Star Wars story. This is from New York Times. Solo, a Star Wars story directed by Ron Howard, is a curiously low-stakes blockbuster, in effect, a filmed Wikipedia page. I don't even know what that means.
I did not get that impression. I think what they're trying to say is that the movie is just, like, it's just kind of information. There's no soul to it. There's no emotion to it. It's just, like, it's satisfying the fans. It's just saying, like, all right, this is what happened, now get out of our face. I did not get that impression at all.
I didn't either. And talk about a low-stakes blockbuster. This movie had higher stakes than Rogue One, potentially, because Han Solo is such a beloved character.
Yeah.
You could have done almost anything. Nobody knew any of the characters in Rogue One. They were just a bunch of rebels stealing the Death Star plans. This guy, everybody knows. You blow this, forget about it. That's why they replaced the director with Ron Howard midstream, because the movie was failing to live up to the standard. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, and also the Wikipedia page comment, like, this movie, in my opinion, this Star Wars movie was the most fun and the most exciting Star Wars movie that I've ever seen, personally, because it had a more Guardians of the Galaxy kind of feel to it.
Yes,
I noticed that too. It was just fun. It was
without being over the top fun, because you know, to develop Han Solo's character takes some doing. There's got to be some pain in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here it is. This is the one. Washington Post. Alden Ehrenreich, Han Solo bears only a glancing resemblance to the gruff, irreverent flyboy Harrison Ford, portrayed so winningly.
It's because it takes place like 20 years before
He's
A New Hope.
a kid.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He hasn't lived the life.
Yeah. He hasn't gone through all of the things leading up to A New Hope yet.
By the way, you can play me in the movie version of my life.
Which there definitely will be. I have no doubt. And it's going to be direct, or it's going to be the Walt Disney Company who produces it as well. So.
You have higher hopes than I do. That's truly A New Hope. Here's another one from Screen Rant. Solo, a Star Wars story, hits all the expected Han Solo origin story beats, delivering a solidly entertaining experience with few surprises. I agree with everything there except the few surprises.
The surprises was a huge part of what made the movie fantastic.
Huge surprise.
And that, I don't want to say.
Now, we're no spoilers, but are we talking about, one, we get to see Warwick Davis. And there's a lot of surprises in this, especially the character that we see toward the end of the film, which plays into what is that cartoon? The Rebels.
Rebels. Star Wars Rebels, yeah.
Plays into Rebels. Nobody's expecting this person to show up.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
With this new character, or this character that shows up, it also opens the door for many, many other Star Wars stories to be told. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Because in Solo, there's reference to obviously the rebellion and stuff, because it's taking place around the same time that the rebellion is starting.
Right.
And that kind of is, I took that as a call to Rogue One. It had kind of a Rogue One-ish feel with every mentioning of
this. Now this is going to happen way before. This is happening way before the whole Jabba the Hutt and all of that stuff happens. And,
the Boba
Fett stuff. So there's going to be another Han Solo movie.
I hope so.
There's going to be, and it's going to be that development now between where we left off and getting closer to New Hope. Obviously, they can't go too far, because then there will be a lot of comparisons between Harrison Ford and Alden. But I mean, it's going to be awesome to see this. Yeah. How about Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian?
Lando has always been one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. I love Empire Strikes Back, and Donald Glover nailed
it.
He had the charm, he had the charisma, he had that rich boy kind of feel about him. I loved his performance as Lando Calrissian in Han Solo.
Nailed it.
Yeah, fantastic.
We have got to see the DVD. I want to slow things down. I want to look inside of the bad guy Dryden Voss's chamber, because there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Maybe some Easter eggs that will show what the future is going to hold for us, and maybe some hints at what was going on in the past as far as Star Wars is concerned. You can't go into this movie expecting, like we just talked about, a superhero movie. It's not. It's a Star Wars movie, and I think that's where a lot of these folks are losing the comparison. They're trying to compare what they've seen now to blockbuster superhero movies, and now we're going back to a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, this is a completely different animal. I think a lot of these critics, I don't want to assume, but a lot of these critics are still in that Infinity War mode, where there's a lot of heavy stakes and there's a lot of, super deep things that happen, and then Han Solo comes up out of the blue, and it's just a fun, Star Wars movie, and I think that they're kind of still suffering that shock from Infinity War and how heavy that movie was.
Right.
But I don't want to assume. That is a big assumption.
Right. I mean, you got to look at what's going on right now. I mean, there's a lot of great movies out there. Infinity Wars and then Deadpool, and now you're getting Han Solo, a Star Wars movie, which is it's a great movie.
It's fantastic.
I love this movie. Love this. This was from Comeo. I don't know what Comeo is. It says, this movie is for the diehard Star Wars fans, and there are millions of them across the globe. I agree. I think this was a great homage to all of us who love these films, especially the first three, in essence, the last three.
Yeah.
Because, and there's, like you had pointed out, the scene in what's the one where they go to and I can't believe I'm blanking on this, when they go to Cloud City and meet Lando.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, and Lando goes and grabs Han Solo.
Yeah, looks like he's about to punch him, and then brings a there's a
reference to that, and
yeah.
you understand when you watch it why he does that, why that all plays out. If you're truly the Star Wars fan,
and you finally know the and I quote, stunt he pulled.
Yes, and the stunt he pulled.
It's fantastic. The calls to them meeting in Empire Strikes Back and how many loose ends are kind of tied up there. How Han won the Millennium Falcon. It's fantastic.
That's right, exactly, and how they ran the Kessel Run, how that all happened
in 12 parsecs.
Well, if you round down. One of the best lines. This one from Common Sense Media. Director Ron Howard's slick, funny prequel offers a respectable lead performance that captures Harrison Ford's smirky, roguish charisma and fills in several Star Wars gaps. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Common Sense Media hit the nail on the head. It does. It fills in all those gaps. And again, go see this movie, because if you're a Star Wars fan at all, I know we're all wrapped up in everything that's been going on with Marvel, but most of the Marvel fans are Star Wars fans, and you got to go see this movie. They played such a great. All of the actors played such great roles. Emilia Clarke as Kira, perfect,
fantastic,
perfect,
very talented,
very well played as to how that character works with Han Solo. Beckett, Woody Harrelson,
out of the blue. Woody Harrelson, every movie I've seen him in, it has been a comedy.
He's getting better and better as an actor.
Yeah.
And this is the guy who showed up on Cheers to replace Coach as the bartender. One of your now favorite.
Oh, I love
sitcom.
Cheers. Cheers is fantastic. Not a Disney show, but if you get a chance, watch Cheers, because it's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. Time to revisit Cheers. And I got to tell you, Phoebe Waller-Bridge playing L3-37.
Fantastic.
L3, the robot.
Yeah.
What's going on? The robots are taking over.
Yeah, and it's incredible because I think I saw an interview with the original actor of C-3PO, and the amount of work that goes into acting, because you can act as a human easily, but acting as like a robot, that's a true challenge for many actors, and she really nailed that role.
Did a great job.
Fantastic.
So, the same thing with K2SO from Rogue One. Love that character. So the robots are they're stealing the show in some of the scenes.
Definitely. They're definitely becoming more fleshed out characters, more individual kind of. They're becoming a staple in Star Wars, is what I'm trying to get across.
Right. So really looking forward to the next Han Solo. I hope they make another one. Go out there and see this movie. You will love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your superhero movie. It's a whole different. It's a Star Wars movie. Go see it because it is so good. If you like the Star Wars films, it will give you great character development into Han Solo. Even if you're a huge Harrison Ford fan, which I am, I love this kid as Harrison Ford. He did a great job, and hats off to Ron Howard for coming in midstream and fixing this movie. One last thing I'll say, the music will hit you in spots where you didn't expect it, and it just
definitely
it's like, oh, you're going to hear music that will make you just the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, because it makes you feel so good to hear that music at certain specific times. So great job.
Specific times near the end of the movie.
Well, there's that too. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So all in all, what you think of the movie?
It was fantastic. I would give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Now
Incredible.
Now, you've heard rumor that there's going to be a Boba Fett film coming out?
Yes, there have been rumors going around that there's going to be a Boba Fett Star Wars story film. It's just kind of in the talks right now. I don't think that there's anything official. But there are talks that I believe, director for Logan, the Wolverine movie 2017, is going to be the director for Boba Fett. So definitely, I think it's going to have a darker kind of, grittier kind of theme, if they do make it. Hopefully they do.
Okay. And then there was another character you wanted to see. You were hoping to see a
Kenobi
to.
film.
Yeah, you want the
Kenobi.
Kenobi film, but what was the other one? There was another one you wanted to see really, really bad.
Oh yeah, I've been a Star Wars fan for a long time. Ever since I was a kid.
I raised him right.
Yeah, I've watched all the prequels, all of the movies. I just want to throw that out there.
Forced it first, but now he enjoys them. These are the movies you're looking for.
So dedicated Star Wars fan. But I'll say one thing: if they do not make a Jar Jar Binks Star Wars story film, I'm done. I'm not watching another Star Wars film again. I can't deal with that kind of treachery.
Can you sell kids on it? No, that would be wrong.
This is a joke. I am not a Jar Jar Binks fan. This was a gag.
All right.
I don't want people getting the wrong impression.
don't send us mean emails. No, we were laughing about that when we were coming home from the movie. Nobody wants to see a Jar Jar remake. Oh my goodness. By the way, it gets very cleared up as to who shot first in this movie.
Yes.
It gets very cleared up.
That was such a sense of relief it was such a weight off your shoulders, because you find it's like they fixed it.
All of you Star Wars fans know what we're talking about. So anyway, any closing remarks, Bobby?
Just that it's a fantastic movie. First chance you get, see it.
Absolutely.
It is on par with Infinity War when it comes to, you have to see this movie.
It is such a quality film. It really is. And these folks that have reviewed it, I don't think are giving it a chance. I think they're still thinking about some other films, and I think it's going to do quite well as time marches on. So I know we'll be buying the DVD, and we'll probably go see it again. I've got to see this thing again. So, all right. Well, Bobby, thanks for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you. I love being on here.
Absolutely. And as Tim says, you go find us all over social media, guys. And you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. Go see Star Wars. Han Solo, a Star Wars story. See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.